Hey, I always just assume you bought and sold enough guns to pay for a hooker once or twice.
I don't pay for. I don't. You think I can afford a hooker?
Nope.
Not unless they cost $350.
Hey, it's that
Otherwise,
guy
he
that,
wouldn't bitch this much.
it's that guy that flew 2 hours each way that disappointed not eating a Philly taco.
Hold on. Let me tell you. Okay, that I had some damn good cheesesteaks. Shanks was good. Cleaver's was good. Tony Luke's sucked.
Oh, I can hear the Jimmy's rustling from here.
Whatever.
Tony Luke's.
They smelled the Florida on you from a mile away. They're like, yeah, give him the fucking dregs.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about Tony Luke's. My buddy from Texas ordered, so you can't. So your argument rings.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're like fucking Texan.
But no. I mean, Tony Luke's was not great. D'Alessandro's was solid. They do a nice sharp provo. I do like that. But I really wanted to go to DeNick's in Reading Terminal, and there's one other place I wanted to try.
You went to Steve's, didn't you? Steve's or
I went to Steve's last trip, and what I like about Steve's is Steve's will let you order double meat, double cheese, and they do a sliced on the griddle, kind of like Geno's. But the fact that they let you do double meat or double cheese I think that's fucking awesome. So they get kind of props for that. But yeah, Steve's is very good. I don't like Steve's provolone policy because they charge extra for provolone. The regular price cheese are American and Whiz, and American I think is terrible, and Whiz is just an abomination.
I confused myself. I got on the YouTube page there, and it looked like we weren't playing, even though we were live.
Yeah,
I clicked it and it
did
took
the
a
same
second
thing to
for it to
me.
load.
Also, I meant to take care of this before the show, but I was super loud last time. Is there anything?
Aren't you always super loud?
I don't.
No.
So,
No, last time he had technical difficulties with his headset and had to reboot his computer or something. I thought.
Yeah.
That's
So
unfortunate.
I'll try not to outburst quite so much.
Oh, you guys! This show is also late. My show is also late all the time.
Yeah. Oh, you have a show?
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you anyway?
What the fuck? It's the Crover, the guy with the fucking stupid shotguns.
That was me tricking you into introducing yourself, sir.
Wow, that actually worked really well.
Boom. Segue.
Here's what I bring to the table tonight. That thing. Do me a favor. Martin, post that.
Yeah.
That stupid thing is not an AR-15, according to a Canadian company.
What? Wait.
It's in the side chat.
Not an AR-15?
It's not.
AR-15 to me.
Is it because the pinholes are in a slightly different place, or?
So and
Oh.
this is, you're gonna start to get a headache real soon. According to the RCMP, which is the body of morons that classifies guns in Canada, if it doesn't go on an already existing AR-15 design, then it's not an AR-15, and it is therefore a new design.
So you move the takedown hole.
No. What they did is they did some weird fucking thing with the shape of the receiver.
They
so
put
that it
they
doesn't
put, a
fit.
slope, they put a slope of hope on it.
Yep,
Yeah.
in the front.
And move the takedown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Functionally identical.
Oh, yeah.
Everything, bolt, stock, handguard, barrel,
Oh, man.
trigger.
This has a huge benefit for the people who are going to be making stuff like this too, unless they patented the idea of just not being an AR-15.
Yeah, but other people can do it then too. Just move the back
Yeah,
one. a little
yeah.
bit further.
All you have to
Yeah,
do is
see, they did this the smart way, and I say the smart way because somebody did it the dumb way. This way. This is Maccabee Industries SLR, self-loading rifle. And their take on it was to create a completely different takedown system and have the upper and lower come together via rails, like a pistol slide.
Oh boy,
Um,
that seems extra complicated.
if you look at the pictures, it gets even worse. They have a takedown system that involves a nut right at the front of the trigger guard. And yeah,
It looks really complicated.
You see that red thing about towards the bottom of the album? That's the trigger pack. You put your trigger in there, and the reason that that's a thing is because here in Canada, a block of aluminum is an M16 until it is completely finished, and then it's an AR-15. So 80% lowers have been banned for about a year and a half, because technically, if you were so inclined, you could finish it up to the point that it is a fully automatic lower.
Just goes to show you, kids, if you write a retarded law, they're going to find a way around it.
So this is the company's interpretation on how to make double super duper sure that you can't fit any full auto parts in there, is by making it as obtrusive and asinine as possible.
Man, we should start a company to make Canadian AR-15s.
Oh, dude, that's Alberta Tactical. The company that made the really dumb one, the SLR, they're called McAfee Industries, and they can only be described as a chicken shit outfit being run out of a barn. And these things are actually being delivered. And the reason that I can say that is because the pictures that you see for the SLR was my upper and lower. When I received that, I sold it on the spot and made $300 on profit, because people have been foaming at the mouth of the possibility of having a non-restricted AR-15. And for you Southerners, that means that I can take it out in the bush.
Nice.
In Canada, the AR-15 is restricted by name, which means that it is only allowed to go from my safe to the range and back. And you have to ask very nicely the Queen if I can take it out of the safe. But this thing is not an AR-15. Clearly, right? I mean, it shoots like an AR-15. It fits all AR-15 parts. It takes everything that an AR-15 does, but it is not an AR-15 because it doesn't fit on an already existing AR-15 upper or lower.
It's Schrodinger's M16.
New law coming in 3, 2.
No, this has been the interpretation of the Firearms Act based on all the signs, even though when they get it wrong, because I'm sure you guys know what came first, the AR-10 or the AR-15.
The AR-10, of course.
No, in eyes Canadian law, the RCMP, the AR-15 was first, and the AR-10 came later.
Okay, well, that's
it is. The AR-10 is classified as a derivative of the AR-15.
It's like Glock. They skipped numbers and then they went back to fill it. Or did they? No, they didn't. They just went out. Never mind.
No, but the problem with the SLR is that this thing was announced in November last year. They said that they were going to be delivering in March. And then March came around and nothing happened. April, nothing. May, nothing. June, nothing. July, I got a shipping notification. And when I received it, oh, wait, fuck, no, that was August. Scratch that. It took till August. When I received it, at that point, I had already gotten to watch the absolute debacle that was this new product. It was built wrong, is the only way that I could say. The bolt catch pin hole is out of spec. Every single one of them is too small. So people who I'm assuming have never touched a tool in their lives, because this seems to be a very prevalent problem, whenever they try to build one of these things, they either deform the shit out of the pin, or they just straight up crack the receiver.
Wow.
If you do manage to somehow get that thing to work, you need to file a bunch of material out of the inside of the receiver to make sure that the bolt catch actually does its job. Magazines don't work in this rifle. It doesn't even seem to like USGI mags. The only thing it likes are PMags. So, for what that's worth, if you're emotional about having PMags only, then this is the rifle for you. You can again fix this.
Why do people buy it if it's such a piece of shit?
Because it's the only piece of shit.
They didn't have a choice.
Because that's exactly it. You don't have a choice. Except now you do.
You know what? It's probably conspiracy.
Oh, are you talking about
we've got two good ideas, one bad and one good. We manufacture the bad idea first, get everybody to buy it, and then we come up with a second idea, and then we get to make another sale.
No, at this point, they're one of the best parts about this is they don't know how to anodize, and by that I mean they cannot get anyone in the province of Alberta, which is a fairly blue collar province with lots and lots of businesses that do anodizing, to do anodizing properly. And actually, if you look at the pictures, there is a couple of spots that you can see the anodizing is not well. Because at some point, the manufacturer just straight up gave up on anodizing and started shipping these receivers in the white. And then gave the businesses the option of doing their own finish on it. So you could pay 1,000 Canadian buckaroos for the upper and lower stripped by itself, and then pay another $200 to finish it.
That's only like $50 US though.
Yeah. But keep in mind, how much is Aero Precision upper and lower?
If you go expensive, maybe like $300.
Yeah, even with the exchange rate, this thing is insane.
Oh, it's
and here in Canada, you can pay $200 for a stripped upper and lower Aero Precision, and those are Canuck books.
This is what the only game in town does.
Except no, that's not the right thing. Well, you know what happened, Pes, is click on that link that I just put there. Are you aware of a little rifle called an AR-180B?
Yeah,
of course.
Well, somebody went and said, you know what, the AR-180B that is not good? The fact that it's stamped. So we're just going to make a milled one and charge exactly $1,000. So for the cost of an SLR stripped upper and lower, you can buy a complete milled AR-180.
Well, the AR-180B is a polymer.
Is it polymer? I thought it was stamped.
Yeah. No, the AR-180 is stamped.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
So does the Canadian government consider the M1 Garand to be derived from the AR-15 as well?
No, but the M1 Garand lives in its own little category because there is a magazine restriction law here in Canada. Rifles are semi-auto rifles are only allowed to hold 5 rounds, but I'm sure you know how many rounds your M1 Garand holds.
Yes.
Yes.
But you can buy special clips that restrict that.
No. It's specially named in the law as being okay to have 8.
So
just
it's not restricted.
No, it's an unrestricted rifle. You can buy them here in Canada and you can take them out in the bush.
What's an M1 Garand cost there?
Pre-built or parts?
Oh, a rifle, bang bang.
Well, there's like a $500 difference between a rifle that came out of the CMP, which does happen. People import the CMP rifles from the States complete, or you can just get a Beretta receiver and populate it yourself. You can buy a built gun for $1.50, or you can buy a
$1,500 isn't that bad.
It's not.
Yeah, you can buy a built gun for a gun that came out of an armory for $2,000.
Because I mean, lots of people are asking $1,500 for M1's Garand stateside.
Yeah.
Asking.
Yeah, no, but in Canada they're $2,000, like a CMP one, $2,000.
That's a little high.
But yeah, basically, the SLR decided that they were going to do this. Maccabee decided that they were going to do this. Failed completely. Keeps delivering shitty products, and people defend the hell out of them because it's the only game in town. And then the Wolverine Supplies, which is a Canadian shop, partnered with a manufacturer called Kodiak Defense, and built themselves its own little AR-180, AR-15 love child. Because unlike the AR-180, the WK-180C uses a AR-15 barrel handguard and is the same dimensions up top as an AR-15. So the rail is at the same height. So when you put an AR-15 stock, which it also uses, stock tube, that is, doesn't have the recoil system, obviously, because it's different. It's got this, you can use the same irons or basically scope bases or mounts that you would for an AR-15. And the barrel, because of Canadian law, to be non-restricted, has to be 18.6 inches long, at least. They decided to go with a mid-length gas system for that, just to make it a little bit extra weird. And it has an adjustable gas block, and it's still piston. And yeah, the bolt is slightly redesigned, so you can't use a 180 bolt on the WK180 because it's got to have the same height.
If
As
it is an AR barrel extension, it has to have an AR bolt. And
exactly. So it
very-
needs the same barrel nut. It needs to and the op rod. Is it op rod?
Yeah.
Yeah. Needs to be at the same height as an AR-15 gas tube would be. So the lower is completely identical though. So you could take an AR-180 and put an old upper on the WK-180 lower.
Huh.
Yeah. And it uses the same, and it's been changed a little bit internally so that it uses AR-15 triggers.
Sounds
Not
like
the
it's
safety.
really super easy to get around your restricted laws up there.
Yeah, one of my favorite ones is
As long
for
as you have-
magazine restrictions. It's design, not intent, as it should be. So if you have a 50 Beowulf magazine, which is designed for 50 Beowulf, you can cram as many 5.56 as you can in there. And if it's a 5-round Beowulf mag, you can put 15 5.56 in it. That's the beauty of it.
What about suppressors?
Are you a cop? That's it. That's basically it.
Really?
But there is no barrel limits. Like you could have like actually, yeah, I can show you right now. I have this stupid thing that I built for funsies.
No, that's as long as it's not in 32 ACP, which we all know is
Or
the
25
most
ACP. It's also
killer round that exists.
I built this stupid thing for shits and gigs. Link it, Bart. I call it Tinkerfuck because I tinker with it. That's a 10.5-inch barrel with a big break on it and an A2 stock because I'm special like that.
Is that a restricted rifle?
It's always going to be restricted because it's an AR-15. So it does not matter how short or how long the barrel is on those. I mean, the pistol length, 7.5-inch barrel ARs are common up here, much more than in the States, simply because, it's going to be only taken to the range anyways. So it does not matter how long you make it.
So what if you made a 32 ACP rifle?
Rifles are okay. Pistols, 32 ACP and 25 ACP pistols are the ones that are banned.
So my 32 ACP AR-15 lookalike is like doubly bad. But
No.
it's okay.
Well, it's only bad because it's an AR-15.
Well, no, but it's not though. It really isn't. So
Oh, well, there you go.
there you go.
There you go.
Found a limited audience for that
I
rifle.
muted Bart for chewing.
We actually got a 32 ACP AR-15-ish thing.
Yeah,
What the fuck is it?
Yeah.
it's an Italian army Jager. It's a blowback.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll show you.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get the obscure shit in here. That's always entertaining.
That's the best shows we have is when you just pull out guns and talk about guns and not all this other shit.
Oh, don't worry. We'll
we'll
briefly touch
tangents.
on it, and I'll get to laugh at you, and
So,
you get to laugh at
That's
me.
32 ACP rifle.
Hmm.
Tri-Z 1907.
Huh.
Have you shot that? I assume
Yeah,
you
of
have.
course.
I
Yeah,
didn't see that one.
and this is a Termax, Belgian Termax. Very rare, 32 ACP.
Pew pew.
Got a little box mag, like a little Uzi mag.
Fucking sweet.
This is my baby. It's my sweetheart here.
That's my problem solver.
Your dog is sleepy fast.
He's a good boy.
What is that?
Hang on a
Wooden?
That is actually really cool looking.
Yeah.
Alright.
Where'd that come from?
So the question is, are there any registered transferable ones on the books?
Yeah, seriously.
No, yeah, like seriously.
Transferable.
No,
That would be
yeah,
awesome. So
I've,
here's the
I've
mag.
seen quite a few
What?
22
That's,
AKs.
that's a 32 ACP mag.
Oh no, I know, but is it a mag from something else or?
No.
I don't know the answer to that. It could be. It could be like a unique, 15 round mag or something.
I wouldn't think there'd be very many 15 round single stack 32 ACPs they could pull that from, though.
Yeah, the unique. That's
Some
about
crazy Spanish pistol.
Yeah. it. So,
Where'd you find that at? Gunbroker or?
I don't know. You know me.
Hmm.
I'm not
So-
sure exactly where I found it, to be honest with you.
He didn't find it. It found him.
Well, of course.
And I'm guessing that's someone's love child project thing.
I bet it went to gun shows for 20 years and sat on the table.
Who the fuck's gonna buy that?
Yeah, so people laughed at the guy. Someday somebody's gonna come along and this is gonna be his gun.
Yeah, and paid as much as I did for it, which is the funny part.
How
But
much?
it's a slick side, no forward assist. It's got the 3-prong muzzle brake.
Oh, shit. No shit.
It's crazy.
I wonder where they got the barrel
Somebody
from.
somebody had to have converted one of those to full auto at some point.
That'd be almost as good as a Scorpion.
Mm-hmm.
So is the lower just a regular AR-15 lower?
No, it's not. It's kind of a piece of crap, actually. I mean, it's sort
Looks
of
cast,
pot
doesn't it?
metal-ish. Yeah.
Is it a Hesse or an EA?
No, it's not that bad.
All right.
It's quiet as fuck too. 32 ACP through
Oh,
a rifle is
yeah.
quiet as hell.
I imagine it is. Yeah. That's cool.
I don't know. I shot it a couple times and I put it away.
Put a silencer on it, it'd be a mouse fart.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this brake thread's on. That'd be pretty sweet, actually.
if the flash hider falls off, then you know it's quality, right? That's crazy, man.
It's actually really cool.
If guns could talk, the stories it would tell.
Yeah. Save me. Save me.
Yeah. Spent 14 years shoved down this fat guy's crack.
Can you imagine though walking down the street in Canada with this like slung over your shoulder? And people would be like,
Well, you can't because it's clearly an AR-15. Unless actually no. If the upper and lower don't go on an AR-15, then it's its own special little thing.
They do not. It is not dimensional.
Then it's its own special little thing, and you would have to submit pictures and design specs to the oh god, what the hell is their name? Canadian Firearms Program Firearms Lab. And then they would go and think about it really hard and decide whether or not it is or it isn't an AR-15.
And then tell you no.
And they tell you no.
Sorry,
They tell you no after about 18 months.
The fun police told me no.
Yes. Oh, there was actually a really interesting piece of news. This guy out of, I think it was Toronto, gets caught with an apartment's worth of AK blank receivers.
Oops.
Just the flats, not even anything else. A whole bunch of cans, 30-round unpinned assault magazines, and all the equipment to build himself his own little spivey shop. And he gets caught with it, and then I think he's suing the government after he went to jail because they trampled on his rights because he should be allowed to do whatever he wants and build guns whenever he wants.
Nice.
This gentleman is an immigrant from an Eastern European nation, as it happens to be.
Godspeed, immigrant man.
Yes.
I hope he succeeds.
It would be surprising if it was.
I can imagine them being butthurt about the magazines, but being butthurt about sheet metal.
Oh, actually, they are butthurt about the magazines. So much so that they've kind of turned a blind eye to just about every magazine, with the exception of two special instances. One of them is the 50 Beowulf mag that I was talking about before. They are now not allowed to be manufactured in Canada to hold more than 2 rounds, and they cannot be imported into Canada unless they are pinned to 2 rounds of 50 Beowulf, even though they still go by a definition of design, not intent, for absolutely every single one of them.
Yeah.
But this is actually just a letter of opinion by the RCMP. This is
Ruger 1022 mags, aren't those like?
Yeah, that's the next one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the next one. Because the way laws are, apparently rimfire magazines don't have to be pinned unless they're for a pistol. If they're for a pistol, they have to be pinned to 10, just like any other pistol.
But
somebody needs to make a 12-shot.
Specifically
There's like 12-shot 22 revolvers.
somebody made a stupid subgun pistol in the 80s or 90s that took Ruger 1022 magazines too, and I can't remember what the hell it's called.
See, Ruger
Is that
also
exactly
decided that they would like to have its own little version pistol of a 1022 rifle, and they released the Charger in the early 2000s, therefore fucking over every single person that owned a Ruger 1022 in Canada, because I'm sure you all know and have at some point done it, owned a 1022 and gone, well, the 10 rounds are fine, but what else is out there?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Ruger waited 17 years before,
Yeah.
that actually fucking anybody.
Yeah, except this is the great part. They didn't have to. Through the sheer power of hatred of the Canadian gun community for the Ruger Charger, somebody dug and really dug until they found exactly how many Ruger Chargers had made it into the country, because importing documents.
Mm.
Less than 200 of those fucking things ever came into the country.
Jeez.
Still, that's like 1 for every 7 Canadians, though, right?
Yeah, it's true.
We can't have cheap Russian 545 anymore because some dickbag made a pistol.
Yeah.
And then wrote a letter about it.
So that's dumb, though, because they don't apply that law to the AR-15 pistols.
No.
556 and 308 are specifically excluded, I think. Or no, 308 AP is actually illegal for anybody, I think. There's exceptions both directions, I believe.
You're talking about the US or Canada?
US.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Because then, like, the FN stuff, the 5.7 ammo, I mean, you can still find the AP stuff and that's made for a pistol.
Yeah.
But was it first made for a rifle?
Yeah, PS90.
Exactly. So that's kind of it. I mean, they cherry pick it.
Oh, here
For the 1022, there is a lawsuit before a court somewhere, and that happened 2 years ago, 3 years ago almost, and nobody has done anything about it because the RCMP just makes this decision, sends out a letter of opinion basically, and says, yeah, 1022 mags, unless they're 10 rounders, you're going to jail. So people were told, don't throw them away, don't turn them in, and some RCMP detachments have been told, the supervisors have told the constabulary, I don't want to see a fucking 1022 magazine issue before me, ever. So if you catch somebody with them, don't. And yeah, it's basically like the day somebody gets charged with having a illegal capacity magazine, which, as a fun part of Canadian law, is the same thing as a rocket launcher or nunchucks.
Fucking, we have nunchuck laws here too, and fucking
throwing stars are illegal in Canada.
So many retarded laws in this country.
Throwing stars and brass knuckles, but get this, only if they're made out of brass. So if you have plastic brass knuckles, they're okay.
Aluminum.
No, I think metal is all out.
Silicon bronze. Oh,
I know.
Really, really, really dense plastic.
Tungsten.
No, just really, really, really dense plastic. You're good to go.
I think ceramic would be nice.
So, ceramic, that would be good.
Oh,
concrete.
Make it out of the same ceramic they make Glock 7s out of.
Exactly. Go right through the airport.
Probably costs more than you make in a month, but
that's what the big stuff's for. You should try to fly somewhere with one of the Lotties. Try to check that.
Oh, those ones are.
I don't think they would take it. It's too big.
Those ones are not even limited in Canada. They're completely fine. They're non-restricted rifles. Like, there is no destructive device category in Canada, so you can own anything. This is just basically the same thing. The ordinance is no good if you have any kind of explosive thing.
Magazine.
That's why Bruce Willis went to Canada for that radio-controlled
40mm autocannon.
That needed to be brought back in a regatta to get into the country.
Yes.
In the boom, even.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But yes, no, you're right. The mags would be pinned to 5, and they in fact are.
Sad. Hashtag sad.
It is. It is rather sad. And they're surprisingly available. I see them pretty much once a week, once a month in Canadian Gun Broker.
For how much?
Wait, there's a Canadian gun broker?
Yeah, I'll show you in a second.
Hey, bro.
It's called Canadian Gun Nuts. And it's everything that you think an online forum being run by paranoid folk is like, with the only exception being that there's actually a substantially active and large equipment exchange.
Well, yeah,
You're
you
only
guys can
paranoid if it's not true that everybody's out to get you.
Well, no, Trudeau is coming for our guns. That's well known.
I seen some old Canadian guy on YouTube ranting and raving about that, how he wasn't going to vote for.
Well, actually, no. The law just left the House of Commons and is going before the Senate. They're gonna fuck us over in a hilarious and complicated way that I could get into, but I don't know if you guys would really care that much.
Yeah.
Exactly. See.
So you're saying we have to come bail you out at some point in the future? Is that what I'm telling over here?
Just find some more oil and we'll annex you guys. How about that?
What I want.
We have a bunch of oil. You guys keep buying it.
It's that shitty sand oil, though.
Yeah.
But hey, man, we almost got a pipeline out to the coast that would have let us take all that sweet oil to markets. But my environment. Then again, the process was hilarious. The pipeline went all the way to the ocean, and the previous government neglected to include the ocean in the environmental assessment.
Well, it's outside the environment.
Yeah.
What's outside the environment?
The ocean. It's the environment. Then there's outside the environment. That's outside. You don't have to include that.
No. But we're digressing.
Unless the front falls off.
That's all we do.
I know.
I was going to ask if this Canadian Gun Nuts thing has a logo that involves actual nuts. What species of nuts? Are they walnuts or
beaver nuts?
Beaver nuts.
Yes. Yes. But yeah, back to the earlier question. I think they're 8-9 grand, maybe 10 if it's in particular good condition.
What's that?
The big old Lathu.
The Lottie.
Lottie.
I figured they would be maple nuts.
I'm gonna actually look it up. There might be one up right now.
Oh,
you know what? Just share my screen. This thing is always funny. Man, this thing is being slow.
Did
Boom.
FC mute himself?
Come again?
Did FC mute himself?
Yeah, I think so.
If he's been talking and not being heard.
I did. I was coughing a little bit, so I didn't want you guys to have to listen to that crap.
Man, look
there
at
it
you.
is.
Nice.
Canadian Gun Nuts. There's a beaver and a gun.
Oh, all right.
Let's see. Military surplus. Here you guys get to make fun of my spelling. How do you spell that thing? L-A-T...
HTI.
HTI.
L-A-T... That?
L-A-H-T-I.
H-T-I.
Shame on you for not knowing how to spell Lottie.
No, but there's another one. There's a couple of other ones. What are they called?
Dyslexic fingers.
Boys, you probably have some boys' rifles.
See that? Nope, like that. Nope. I give up.
Boys.
You didn't tell me how.
Boys, B-O-Y-S.
It used to be B-O-Y-E-S until the world woke up and figured it out.
That's what you said.
Oh, look at that. There is one.
Told you.
Back in the 90s, they were all boys, B-O-Y-E-S.
Oh, 10 Gs plus half the shipping, but local pickup will be ideal. Of course, it's in Alberta.
Or is it 55?
It's a 51.
10,000 Canadian kopecks.
So like $7,500.
I think it translates into 900 Fayette County dollars.
Oh yeah, this guy claims that it gets 2-inch groups.
Nice.
With half-inch bullets. That's pretty good.
There was
on there, or is it? Oh, sorry.
What was that?
I was asking if the barrel was stepped or if it was a gradual contour on the 50.
I wouldn't know unless I fucking reopened that.
Sorry.
Looks stepped.
Yeah.
It's got a big old break on it.
Flat break or a pancake break? Is it like a cookie cutter, like flat like this, or is it flat like this?
It's pretty flat. Looks pretty flat.
Which
Like
direction?
flat like it ran into the back of a car, or flat like it got squished through a roller?
Flat like it got squished through a roller.
Okay, Mark II.
One thing that I did see that was also rather amusing was a RPG in the 762 by 39 trainer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was asking, I think $4,000, $5,000 for it.
I could just see walking up to a range with that thing, and then everybody would be like, "Holy crap!" And then you pull the trigger, and it goes bang.
And then in the distance, ding! Oh, yeah. Also, I saw a Tiger Bear with the bolt missing. So if you were so inclined,
That would be a rifle you could make a bolt for. I mean, if you're gonna make a bolt, that would be one to do it for.
Just find some 1-inch stock and go to town, right?
Simple.
yeah, that's basically what it said, is that these things were demilitarized by literally chucking the bolt away because they figured who would bother.
Well, that's pretty common. I mean, a lot of rifles, especially in field expedient things, is you separate the parts that make it go bang when you need to demil something.
Yep. And the thing was in, remarkably good condition because probably the guy hauling that thing got shot and didn't get to shoot it a lot because how much can you shoot those fucking things?
The lathe work to make a bolt would be pretty easy, but then the heat treating, that's the sketchy part.
Yeah.
You mean the fun part?
Build a big fire.
You make one of those little brick,
Yeah. You make a little kiln kind of thing.
kiln in the back, or even like those small ones you can buy from.
No, man. Just get a barbecue.
labs.
Get a barbecue and go to town.
Put the leaf blower on there and just start chucking charcoal in there.
Put it lovingly deposit into a nice little stainless steel hot pocket. Throw it in the fire for a while.
Make sure to pour a lot of lighter fluid on it.
Chuck it in a bucket and then put it in your wife's Sunday oven when she's not home.
Oh, that's the key step. They come home. I smell something. Is there chemicals? I smell something funny. What is that
That's
smell?
easy off, babe. Don't worry about it.
I was cleaning the oven.
Yeah. Went ahead and did that for you.
Why does it smell like almonds?
You had a
Yeah.
stroke. It's cool. Went to the hospital.
Say, I tried to clean the oven, but it got really dirty, so I bought you a new oven. So you guys have a precedent, eh?
What's that?
President, you're
Oh, that feller. I got an alert from him today. It's nice of him to think of me like that.
I know,
Didn't
right?
say-
I was
but-
so
but-
waiting
but
for
was
it
it
to
a
sound
dick
like a
pic, though?
meme. You know?
But was it a dick pic?
It was
Yeah.
not.
It said, never mind.
I would have loved if it would have been the get in the car, bitches. We're making
or something like that. Yeah, yeah.
That
I
would've
was
been
gonna
so
say it, too,
fitting
but
for
it had the F word in it, so I didn't say it.
It would have been better if it had something to do with Kavanaugh. It's like Dr. Ford's a liar.
he said that live. He doesn't need to do that tweet wise.
No, he needs to repeat himself. It's the only way he really feels like he's actually heard.
Double down.
This is emergency message. It's fake news.
But the thing is, it had to say presidential message on it, not like automatic wireless.
Well, of course it's
system.
gonna say that. Have you seen that man? He's got an ego.
I was surprised it wasn't like, this is the greatest alert message ever created. Everybody's
So smart, so incredibly smart. So many smart people work on it.
Well, I'm glad they actually implemented that because I don't listen to the fucking radio ever.
Yeah.
So, or watch TV. So I guess.
But if you're outside, you can hear the sirens, I would assume.
We don't have air raids or tornadoes here, so they don't have.
Oh, good point, huh?
Yeah.
We had a tornado up here in Canada. That was fun.
In Idaho, they do blow the air raid siren once a day at or noon, I think, every day, something like that.
They do that around here too to sell or just to let everybody know it's noon and 6 o'clock.
Yeah, and that the thing's still working, I assume. 'Cause I think that was the missile belt back in the day. I don't know. We don't really have that here.
What do you have?
Yeah, we were right next to SAC headquarters, so we were definitely getting nuked.
Yeah.
You have a guy down in your area that bought a house that the previous owner told him they thought there was something buried in the backyard, and it turns out there was a bomb shelter under there.
Huh.
Some pool
Here?
company apparently found an alternative revenue stream in the 50s and was building fallout shelters.
In Arizona? Or,
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah, in right near your area, actually.
Oh. There's usually not a lot of digging in the dirt here, except for swimming pools, because nobody has a basement.
Right.
There's no need to, although it would make your cooling a lot cheaper.
Exactly. Of all the places to have basements, this is the place you should have a basement.
Isn't there tons of bedrock close to the surface, though? It makes it difficult.
It's a really dense
clay,
sort of not like concrete cemented, but cemented together dirt that was the bottom of a seabed or something a long time ago. I don't know. But
so do people make basements and just pay a fuck ton of money?
Yeah, so I've watched some mining YouTube videos, and there's a guy tunneling around through the shit out somewhere. I think it's in Nevada actually, but same kind of deal. And you could dig through it with a pick, but nobody wants to pay somebody to dig through it with a pick for 4 times longer than it would take somebody with a backhoe to dig a basement somewhere else. So
why don't you just blast it? That's what they do here in Vancouver Island, because it's all fucking bedrock because of the way the island comes out of the ocean. There's blasting here.
Nobody
there's gonna be blasting down the street.
This is I think the first area where tract houses got started. I don't know, Sun City and shit like that. The huge developments and all that stuff was built cheaply, right? So they're not gonna cookie cutter a bunch of. I mean, I have been in a house that has a basement in this city, but it's very rare, and I imagine you might find it in a custom house, but most of the houses in this area are not custom houses. They're all.
You wouldn't even need basement walls, right? Just dig it out and boom.
Yeah, exactly. Just shotcrete the bitch and put some joists.
Woof woof.
I don't think he hears shit for some fucking reason.
Because they do. Their dogs have great hearing.
I just wonder if he's hearing shit that's going on in my headphones and thinking it's somebody at the front door.
You must have your headphones really, really loud.
They're always on max.
Are you deaf?
Or maybe it's
you are deaf now.
I might be deaf.
It could be like that Hoop situation. Remember that, Bart? I had to cooperate.
Oh yeah.
Whatever happened to that guy? I stopped seeing him this up.
I don't know. I send him Snapchats every once in a while. I think he's still in Vegas. He's just working for a different company. No longer working for Arsenal, so he probably doesn't hang out in guns as much.
Another man lost.
So I got these in the mail, proving that I'm a glutton for punishment.
Ooh.
What the fuck is that?
Set me
mags.
And in true Spanish national pride fashion, don't have a fucking marking on them.
So you don't know if they're legit or not.
You can tell just by looking at them. They're curvy.
They've definitely been around the block before. There's no doubt about it.
They're curvy HK91 mags.
Yeah.
I have a couple of those somewhere.
That's one gun that I would definitely love up here in Canada. Any FAL pattern rifle. Any of them.
They're
all places that you'd have a bunch of them.
Yeah. Setmes aren't FAL pattern though either. They're roller locked. No. They're
HK. Right. Yeah. Oh well, there you go. The same thing because actually they're derived from each other.
Precursors.
No, they're. I'm pretty sure those ones are also backwards in Canadian law. Also 50 cal pistols because or the HKG11 because space guns technology is definitely something that you could obtain in Canada and therefore must be banned.
So you got those mags because you think they're going to be importing C kits?
Oh, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
Oh, or you think they're just going to build them and sell them through Copper Customs and get one that way?
No, I'm pretty sure that's what they are going to do. They're going to bring them in as kits Well, they think they might be able to bring them in as full guns.
Huh.
But in worst case scenario, they bring them in as kits and they make new receivers that have the right markings on them.
And the HMG STG 44s languish.
STGN, sir. STGN.
Yeah.
All right.
For never going to deliver.
More like STG hyphen infinity symbol.
But like my comments from that last threads, people are like still liking them like weeks later.
Are they still out there? Because I couldn't see them the night that you typed them up. I couldn't see them.
They're there. It's just that the format for their stupid video always puts you at the top of the comments, so you got to scroll through all the comments to see them.
Yeah, video comments.
So clearly, what we need to do is we need to set up some astroturfing and set up and make sure every single comment in their video is negative.
No, we don't have to do that. They do that on their own. I'm not spending my time. Why did you? Yeah, I'm not gonna astroturf that shit.
I would say in their defense, because I'm a dumbass. It could end up like these. What is it? The Maxi Pad boys in Canada, where they make shitty rifles. And
You're gonna have to be more specific. There's a lot of Maxi Pad out here.
The one you like, not the SCR, but the other one or something.
What, the SLR?
Yeah. Who makes it?
The Ugg boot
Maccabee
rifle.
Defense.
Yeah, Maxi Pad Defense.
Now I see the connection.
So at least I think they're not making a shitty gun. They're just not ever going to release it.
From speaking with somebody with a lot more experience in machining, they were literally learning on the job, and it was incredibly apparent. So their only communications with customers were through Instagram posts.
That's
It does sound quite HMG.
hashtag Insta Machinist.
Hey, dude, there was an actual video.
No, they do that all the time. Yeah,
They quit doing that shit though. They haven't done that in those last couple posts.
because their best customer told them they're a bunch of jackasses for doing it.
No,
I asked them if they wanted to be on the show
legitimately
again,
had a
but
video.
they didn't get back to me on that one.
No, he did. He said he'd love to come talk to us anytime.
Really? I missed that.
That's what he said.
Oh,
I'm also the reason that they did a summary at the end of the last video.
which if you watch the last 45 seconds, doesn't summarize the video.
No,
Helpfully enough.
I didn't watch the first 90 hit. I assumed it did because they said it did, but
I haven't actually watched any of their videos just because I don't want to see them trying to answer a bunch of questions of like L85 when.
yeah, like I'm not gonna wade through 2 hours of that so I can find out that you're not saying shit about my.
You got Fat Mac and a guy that looks like he's depressed enough to kill himself during the show.
Yeah. and if you
He's just
wanted
like,
to see,
oh my god.
and if you wanted to see a depressed fat person prophesizing doom, I could just turn my camera around.
I'm telling you, man, go get a hooker.
They were like the kid though that like in second grade or like in fifth grade when you had to have like the 3 pages typed front and back that went like triple spaced with like an 84-point font, you know.
And then double space the
Just fill up that space, baby. Dude. Jesus.
Yeah, they have to be like rehashing the same shit because they haven't even come out with pictures of the magazines in months.
Well, aren't they
great
supposed to
news,
be
Mark. They just can't
interchangeable,
tell
right?
you. They can't
Interchangeable
talk
mags.
about it.
Interchangeable mags.
Yeah, well, they have different calibers, yeah.
But it's interchangeable. One mag well, interchangeable mags.
Yes. But there's great stuff, Bart. They just can't talk about it. They just wish they could. They wish they could. But they can't. They just can't.
Does this remind you of high school where one of your friends, he's like, I have a girlfriend, but she like lives in another town and goes to a different school?
She lives that doesn't even remind me of high school. That reminds us of our chat and you.
Oh, wrecked.
We don't have to go back in time. We can just go back like a couple weeks.
The thrilling days of yesterweek.
Oh, my goodness. They get a fire extinguisher to put that burn out.
He fell silent.
I think you heard his beefies.
He's thinking of a comeback.
I'll
Make
show
another
him.
post about Bartman being.
I am getting the business this last couple days.
Oh,
It'd be like
segue.
Trump, like
What
Rich
about
Man
Weekend
bad.
Gunnit, folks?
Yeah. Yeah, I am the brunt of all the anger that the sub has went private, while in reality I've had absolutely nothing to do with any of it.
See, that's the only thing somebody that has everything to do with it would say.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what the Germans would have us believe. Meanwhile, Pest is cruising along, the only good mod.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
He banned one of the people I've been wanting to ban for a long time, like a week ago in the politics thread. But
Yeah, I saw that.
Da-na-na, da-na-na.
Round and round she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows.
Had a fun band today too.
Oh man, you know what, Pez? I have not seen you strike the band hammer down in a while. I got to keep an eye on you now.
did you ban that guy that was bitching in mod mail
Yeah, I did.
retroactively? Yeah.
Yeah, I said okay. I said okie dokie.
Yeah.
Talk yourself into a band.
Yep.
The one thing I can guarantee is anybody that crows that much about their service for the military did the absolute minimum possible. So he
Yeah,
probably had like a
yeah.
2-year enlistment and got out. No, my wounds and war.
Is that how that works, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't ever say anything, but I'm like, you know what?
Yeah. I don't have a leg to stand on. I got a real life buddy, you guys know him, who got blowed up 3-4 times in Iraq and all that stuff, and he doesn't even stand up at baseball games, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he already did his. I don't think he needs to do it anymore.
Yeah.
You get tired of it.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine.
So Bart, why did you make Weekend Gunnit private?
Tell us the truth, Bart. We know you're the mod on Weekend Gunnit.
Yeah.
Spill the beans.
I'm secretly Wichita Awesome in disguise.
Oh
No, the deal is when that the shooting happened in Texas or whatever.
You're gonna have to be more specific than that.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming you guys have seen the mattress memes when I was trying to take the mattress out of there, and then the other guy shot him, and those guys are now arrested for murder. But Weekend Gunnit just love that, and whenever somebody would post a shockwave brace or something to gun deals, like a whole trove of these idiots would show up and start like making comments like "I doubt it" and "Take your best swing" and
don't forget jack off. Don't forget jack off.
Yeah, and I mean,
you have to say it with that lazy, super southern accent, though.
Dude, I'm Mexican.
I didn't even watch the video, so I just.
Oh, dude, Bart, like we should do a live viewing right now. Because
reaction video.
I don't go to watch people die.
No, fuck that.
You don't see shit. You see the guy fall down. Then you.
I don't want to. No.
The stupidity leading up to it, though, is quite stunning, and it's complete.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. You could literally stop right before, like right when pops the guy, and that's it. Because it's everything that happens that's meme worthy goes to that point, except Junior standing there blasting the guy with the shockwave.
I can be dumber than you. No, sir. I can be dumber than you. No, sir.
Hold my beer.
So the issue was people were eventually the guys set up the bot to remove the comments and they banned people. I didn't ban a single person of the whole thing, which I find hilarious. But then Weekend just kept getting more butthurt about it, and it got to the point where like a comment that was removed immediately by the bot would be like double-digit upvotes. So it got up channeled to the admins. The admins looked at it and said, yeah, there's a shitload of brigading coming from here. And they told them to stop. So then Wichita put up a thread saying, hey, stop this shit. Otherwise, we're going to ban you. And the entire thread was people making fun of it and then tagging the admins and calling them pedos and fuckers.
Friends. I think that's page 36 of the Dale Carnegie book.
Yeah.
Friends and influence people.
I
I must have seen the post when it was just posted because I didn't see the comments at the
I think
bottom.
it should-
Wichita in his clip of the mod mail, he left like the mod that was or the admin that was talking to them in the clip.
no!
So they were all tagging him, username tagging him in the thread, saying, "Oh, this
God.
guy's a fucking cook. This guy's a pedo." Ooh.
Jesus. It should be page 69 in Carnegie's book.
Yeah. How to suck your own dick.
And now the worst thing about it is it's all going over to firearms now. So all this, and I just banned somebody from Gunnit that just sent me a PM saying that I'm the reason why their fucking sub went away. I'm like, no, you're the fucking reason. You're fucking doing it now.
See, this is my impression of the
myself
thing.
in the foot. I don't know why to keep
The impression that I had, what had happened and what had transpired is that somebody was brigading guns. I mean, Weekend Gunnit. Somebody was brigading Weekend Gunnit.
No,
Not that Weekend Gunnit was brigading
no.
somewhere else.
Because they've always had a rule over there is you can't link to like Weekend Gun outside the sub.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So a bunch
Somebody
of,
needs to make one of those bicycle memes that has the guy in the, shoves a stick in there. Fucking Bart, man.
Totally.
it can be done, sir. But do we have the will?
I might do that later and post to firearms.
Read that sweet karma until somebody notices your fucking username.
Oh, they already know me. I mean, I got even in our Gunnit live thread, I'm like downvoted every single comment and like the
I
negatives.
saw that.
So it's just not just Weekend. They follow me around everywhere anymore.
I asked
Wow.
Rudy why he doesn't post her anymore, and he said it was too gay for him.
Is that why? Because I saw he nuked his channel on YouTube.
No, his channel got nuked.
Yeah.
Oh,
they
no.
demonetized it and everything. Yeah.
Was it just because he was making stupid shit, or
No, he was just shooting guns.
really? Wow.
Some of his videos weren't just. I think some of the stuff that he uploaded wasn't like. I don't know.
It was the trap shooting.
Yeah.
Yes. He does a lot of trap shooting. He might go out with me Saturday.
Nice.
So the fucking Solothurn saga continues. He got there, and I got an email, and the guy's like, "Hey, you're gonna have to bring some tools to take this apart." And so I looked it up, and I'm like, "Nah, it's really easy to get the barrel off. You don't even need tools." He's like, "No, the barrel's off." I'm like, "Then what are we taking apart exactly?" I'm like, so I got a phone call into him to find out what the fuck he's thinking.
Maybe the skids.
Hopefully he doesn't put a spring through his
Fluffy,
fucking
can you
skull.
put your mic just to see hair closer to your mouth?
Yes, thank you.
There you go.
So yeah, I mean maybe the bipod, but it folds up. I mean, I'm not sure what taking it off will really accomplish. I don't know.
Better
You
make
be able to fit it in your Honda?
DDs only twice, people. That's it.
You better send the cops by for a wellness check in case he.
Hey man, remember in Canada those things are the same thing as a bolt action 22.
In case he
That's
put a
awesome.
spring through his skull.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm like, I'm not taking that gun apart. There's no fucking way. I'm even thinking about doing that. You want to take the bipod off? Okay, but yeah, I'm not getting a fucking garage door spring in my head.
Yeah. You can get
Well,
killed.
you could, but you'd only do it once.
You can get killed disassembling a 1919 wrong. So
Yeah, you told me.
Really?
yeah, well, a guy put a
Fucking
fucking
skull
put
punch.
the doodad right through his eye socket. Basically,
Oh.
he didn't die, but he didn't have an eye anymore. So
Well, but then see, that's the same rationale behind you when you want to learn about black powder. You find the guy with the least amount of fingers because he's learned all the lessons.
This here's why you don't fuck with table saws, and this here's why you don't fuck with jigsaws.
So, you know who told me that? A guy without a couple of fingers that
Yeah.
shot black powder.
Yeah. The explosives guy that's missing half a hand is the one you want to talk to.
I always wondered about that, like when the the British and stuff when they would fire those sequences around. Like you gotta wonder, like, is there a little ember left down in there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you dump that next charge down and it's
What do they? So cannons, they actually put water down there. I think I
I
want to
think
say
they do. They wet the mop, right?
They swab it with a wet mop and then they go in with
But it would make sense to have like 2 or 3 mops, one wet and a couple of dry ones, and then just run the wet one, run the dry one.
mhm.
You
Do
use
that
the
twice
fuck
and
ton
you're
of
good to go.
CLP, though. That's the only problem.
I don't know what they do about it with rifles though. I don't. Oh, well. I guess if the powder's going to go off when you drop it in a rifle, it's just going to go off.
But it's just gonna go whoosh. But still, it's gonna
Yeah.
be exciting.
Well, if your hand happens to be, holding the rod and you're like, well, no
Well,
hand.
you don't have to pack the powder down, right? So,
Well, you have to push the ball down.
but you
Yeah.
put the powder in first, right? So then, if you're gonna have a problem, that's when it happens.
Well, is it?
I
I
assume
would
so.
think so.
And then, yeah. But yeah, it'll blow the rod through your hand if you do it really, really well.
And then people are gonna talk to you more.
So what's the deal in Canada with black powder, like muzzle loaders? Is there a difference between a muzzle loader and a black
Yes.
powder not muzzle loader? Like there's some breech guns, like breech loading guns.
I
versus
think,
muzzle loader.
and don't quote me on this because I'm not 100%, but I think they're just all considered not guns.
Hmm.
Even the ones that are a little more advanced, breech loaders and whatnot, they're just not guns.
So if you made a black powder 223, you could have a AR. That'd be sweet.
I'm not sure. No, I'm not sure how that would work because hey, if it fits on an AR-15, whatever, it's a gun.
The coolest thing about Canada is that they can
Nothing.
still have Chinese stuff.
Full stop.
No, you can still have Chinese stuff. And the
And
second
Russian
coolest
stuff, right?
thing is that dealers can ship straight to your door.
Well, that's the beauty of it. If you think about it, getting license makes you an FFL. That's it. Like that's, but that's not really it. Or actually, no, that's actually a good analogy.
Could you sell
Everyone in
guns, right?
Canada, everyone in Canada that has a gun is a criminal, except if you have the card that says you're not.
Yeah.
Like having a gun is illegal. Possession of a firearm is a straight up crime.
So what if you want to sell a restricted gun? Is there anything you have to jump through
Oh, buddy, holy shit!
to sell it?
Get ready to just lose even more faith in humanity.
Hmm.
You want to buy a restricted off somebody else. You want to sell a restricted. Well, you get to call as the person that owns the gun, the horse cops, and tell them, "Hey, I want to sell this restricted gun." And they go, "Cool. I need from you your license number, your personal information, and the gun's registration certificate. Because as a restricted, you get a piece of paper saying this is your gun and this is the paper number that says it's your gun." Then you have to make sure beforehand you've gotten the following information from the guy you're going to sell the gun to. You need his license number, you need his name, and you need his date of birth. You tell them, I want to sell this gun on this registration certificate to this guy with this license, born this day, full name, legal name, even the middle names. You have to give the middle names because those names are included on the license. Then the RCMP goes, okay, here's a transfer number. You give this transfer number to the buyer, and then the buyer has to call and do the same thing you did. You have to give your name, give your number, give your information, and you have to give them that transfer number, and then the buyer is told, okay, we are going to send this application to your provinces, your state's own little office that handles all the transfers in the province. And they decide if the transfer is going to take place. I have never heard of anyone getting denied if your license, and if you want that restricted and you belong to a gun range, then you're going to get the gun. But they just sit on it. Sometimes they sit on it for a couple of days. Sometimes they sit on it for a couple of weeks.
Sounds like an FOID card in Illinois. Usually takes like the full 90 days to get it.
Except some provinces are better than others. Alberta, BC, Saskatchewan, the western provinces, you could have a day off Yeah, I've called in the morning and called in the afternoon and said, "Oh yeah, I just got it on my desk. Here you go, approved." And then there are other provinces where it got so bad that firearm owners contacted the government ombudsman. I can't even say how the word works.
Yeah,
It's basically and the person is in charge of checking that the government is doing his job, and then they laid into the RCMP and said, "What the hell? This takes place in 2-3 days everywhere else. Why does this province take 2 months? This is bullshit. Get your act together." And it actually brought down the times in the provinces that it was bad. It went down from 4, 5, 6 weeks down to a long week if you're unlucky. Sometimes a couple of days if you're lucky. Then, get this, unless you're specific about it, if the transfer is approved, they send you a letter saying it is. They don't call you. They don't email you. They don't fax you. They send you a letter, snail mail. And since this all happens in Miramichi, which is out in the East Coast, and if you're in the West Coast and you know how big Canada is, that letter can take a week, 2 weeks to show up, because if the person buying gets that letter and doesn't tell you about it, then you as the seller get to wait until you get the letter telling you that the transfer went through before you can send the gun to the guy. Nice. But if you feel like it and you feel like having a small brainwave, you can ask them when you're making your transfer over the phone, "Hey, would you mind emailing me this piece of paper as soon as the transfer is approved?" And some provinces do, and some provinces don't. The provinces that do means that if the thing takes 2 days, 2 days later, the guy gets his gun shipped to him. If it takes 2 weeks, like it does out east sometimes, you get to wait for 2 weeks for the guy to get his piece of paper in the mail, and then gives you a call or an email saying that the transfer is approved, and then you call the RCMP to make sure that it did take place, or you get the piece of paper in the mail saying that the transfer is approved. And on more than one occasion, I have sold restricteds, shipped the gun because I got my notice in the email. The guy received this gun and taken it to the range before I get the piece of paper saying the transfer is approved. And there's a special section about the law in Canada that says that you must have the registration certificate with you when you take your restricted firearms with you to the range. Except the transfer notices have the registration certificate on them. The registration certificate number on them, which is all the cop would need to make sure that the gun belongs to you. So do you need to wait for the piece of paper that has the number because it's the piece of paper that's meant to have the number, or you just have the gun with you and take it to the range with the piece of paper that has the number, even though it's not the piece of paper that is supposed to have the number when you take it to the range? It's all complete bullshit.
Sounds like trying to use facts and logic.
Yeah. And if the cop pulls you over and you have restricteds in the car and you don't have your registration certificates with you in one form or shape or another, he just gets to take your guns, takes them down to the station, and you can come in at some point later with the registration certificates to prove that the guns are yours. If he doesn't choose to just charge you outright with, possession of restricted firearms.
Sounds like a wonderland.
And that's why people are willing to pay $1,000 for a non-restricted AR-15, not to deal with that bullshit.
It's not an AR-15. It doesn't fit.
Oh, that's right. It's a new design. Sorry. My bad.
Oh, shit.
Did you want to talk about the judge that's definitely totally not maybe going to go in?
We can talk about the G45.
Oh.
Absurd.
Damn it. There's a list of Glock models with calibers.
And it's wrong.
Yeah. There's mistakes in it.
Oh, God damn it. It was funny, though. I don't know them all, because who would?
I was the one that corrected one of my friends who reposted that bullshit on Facebook.
Fine, whatever.
But then again, he's the kind of person that reposts the shit on Facebook that basically said Hillary Clinton was running a prostitution ring.
She totally was, dude. Come on.
I mean,
Child sex
you would
ring
know,
service.
right, FC? You partake in the services.
No, no. If I did, you think I would be this cranky?
I don't know. Did she give you something?
Yeah, VD.
Oh, sorry. Did he give you something?
So Glock 45 is special. How? It's got a rotating barrel.
It's a 19X. It's a
designed
19X that's basically black.
Why isn't it a 19X then?
Why isn't it a 19X?
Why does the barrel rotate?
Barrel
Does the
doesn't
barrel rotate?
rotate.
Hey! It doesn't have the hump at the bottom of the grip. That's it.
If I search for Glock 45, I'm going to find a bunch of Model 20s.
Or
20 or 10
sides
mil.
on 'em.
Oh, 21. Sorry.
21.
That's right. That's right.
What model number is the shovel?
What's the fucking subcompact one though? The 45 one. Isn't there one?
36.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, the 30s are all weird.
And isn't it the Glocks are all weird?
Yeah, it's a 19X. Okay. So if we wait until they start producing the G45, they're calling it the G45 now too. Like they were never G anything before; they were just the 45. If we wait for the G45 in FDE, do we get a 19X or do we?
It should come out with an indigo colored model and call it the GI 45.
There you go. Perfect.
They should come out with like a. They could do like custom colors. Just think how many more guns they could sell if they had custom colors.
Oh man.
Red Glocks, blue Glocks, glow in the dark Glocks.
Glow in the dark Glock would be badass. I'd want one of those.
What I would want is one that was cast or molded when when they're switching from black to FDE, so you get swirly black FDE.
Well, as
Kind of like a
person of
bowling ball.
experience-
I think they're Austrians. They probably like really clean it between the.
God
colors.
damn it! I know.
Well,
they
could
probably
outsource
just
that
no.
shit to
What they
Georgia.
probably just keep running the machine and put new plastic in and throw away the ones that come out funny.
Half-assed. Yeah.
Damn it. So we could go dig through the bin behind Glock.
Oh yeah.
That is a thing.
And get the rare ones.
Where they just throw shit out in a dumpster. Because I know there's been people in Discord where they worked at SIG and there was an entire box of slides they just threw away.
Huh.
Well, they're made out of sheet metal. So.
Those are probably the ones that don't rust.
Yeah.
You didn't pass our rust test.
Yeah.
No, you're supposed to make sure it doesn't rust. Ah, son of a bitch.
These
Shucks.
ones,
There goes the entire line.
these ones accidentally got paint over the entire surface, so we can't.
Wait, you mean to tell me the grips aren't just supposed to cover everything that we get painted over? That was wasn't it Omni that had the brand new spanking new one, and you took the grips off and it was rusty?
Fancy one that came with the coin and the fucking
The Legion. Yeah.
Yeah, the Legion. The Legion.
Yeah, I was the one that got that SIG 220 with the sights on backwards.
Did you guys
Is
see
that
the
a
Colt,
take on the HK meme?
the Colt Night Cobra with the night sight on backwards?
Yeah, that was
Yep.
so fucking awesome.
Fucking idiots.
What?
Oh, and there
Night
was something
sight
else
was
wrong
on
with it. That wasn't
Yeah,
the
all
only
it
thing
takes
wrong
is
with
somebody to look down the fucking thing and like, oh, that's backwards. Well, we probably shouldn't ship that one. Fuck it, ship it. We got a tight deadline, and we're not.
But
closing
that
it.
wasn't the only thing wrong with it. There was something wrong with the hand or the paw or something that was not locking it up properly.
Jesus. Well, that and it was a fucking. New
Well,
clip.
with the amount of quality control that taking a look at the gun before you ship it requires, you can really not expect much from the rest of the gun.
That gun is a complete shit show, and the only people buying it are people who cannot recognize quality shit no matter what.
Hey man, I am doing nothing but spreading the truth about Freedom Group 870s, and people still buy those fucking things.
Yeah.
Just last week, some guy, that was the best. Some guy goes in, hey, I just paid like 450 Canuck bucks for Remington Express with a cantilever barrel and a scope. Did I get a good deal? And then I just laid into him. It's like, dude, your gun is gonna rust. Your gun's gonna break. Your gun's not gonna run. And then somebody comes in and he goes, "I can't believe you treated him like that. I
Yeah.
bought and sold hundreds of these at the store, and I never once had one Remington come back." Okay.
I had a guy at the most recent gun show, and I had an FN SLP sitting on the table, and it was tagged at like $1,100. He's like, $1,100 for that? And he holds up his shotgun, and he's like, I'm selling mine for $250, and it's a Remington.
You're like $250 for that?
He's like, you're asking over $1,000 for a shotgun, and it ain't even a Remington. What's wrong with you?
That's those people with Browning stickers on their fucking windows.
No, he had like I looked at. I think he had like a Maverick 88.
Hey, those are decent guns, man.
But he was like, mine's even got a laser scope on it, and mine's $250, and I'm just like, yeah, Jesus.
Modern Browning is just a marketing company. They don't make anything.
Is it the entire production line is in Japan, or?
Yes, I think they're using Morocco or something.
It's fucking Howa, yeah. They just I don't know who it is, but I assume
it's Morocco. FC is right.
Okay, fine.
I seen the factory on Google Earth one time. It was pretty neat.
I mean, Morocco makes really beautiful fucking shotguns, though.
Sure, but none of it's actually made by Browning. So if you got a Browning logo on your truck, you might as well have a Morocco logo because
They make a lot
the
of
Japanese
clothes.
imperial flag.
I think they sell a lot of clothes. So.
they don't make any of it. It's a marketing company.
I mean, that's why they discontinued the high power, right? Because they're just not making anything anymore.
Huh?
That's why they discontinued the high power.
I believe so.
If you want unissued Browning high power, all you have to do is join the Canadian Forces, because all the guys that get deployed get a brand new Stilling Degrees high power.
English?
Yep.
Nice.
Wow.
It's hilarious because from all the guys that I've talked in the service here in Canada, they were like, "Yeah, you get absolute piece of shit junk guns when you're doing your training, and the second you get deployed, you hit the ground, they give you one Stilling Degrees with the mag disconnector in it, and what you do is you clean it up and take the mag disconnector out."
Yeah.
If you really think about it, Browning being strictly a marketing company, it's not necessarily a bad idea, because Browning's owned by FN, and FN can't make enough shit as it is. So
no, it's a competent. I mean, it's more competent than Remington, that should just be a marketing company, but it isn't.
Well, they want to be innovators, so the RP9 happens.
Yeah, innovators. Jesus.
Oh, what was the gun that was absolute dog shit? Retread of the old one, the really old one, the tiny little 9mm or
51.
Yeah, that was good. I remember reading a magazine calling it the next greatest fucking thing.
That was only a couple years ago.
Yeah.
51 debacle where they sent out and people could put it together backwards where it wouldn't fire.
Front sights would fall out all the time.
Yeah.
Wasn't it also that no, that was the RP9. The slide release that was supposed to be ambidextrous was just a piece of sheet metal. So if it would work from one side, but the other side would just
the other side did, it's just bent or flexed. Yeah,
ambidextrous.
You can just see the guy going, it's close enough, right?
What do I care? They told me to make
like it moves.
the graph went up and to the right, so nobody cares.
Left-handed people don't matter.
But
They're statistically more likely to die at a younger age.
Left-handed people never matter. Let's get that right.
Yeah. The thing is, if none of your left-handed people are satisfied, you still are satisfying 90% of your customers. If that's the only problem, that's not the only problem with that gun, but yeah. So that's pretty good.
I have the fun and interesting lifestyle of shooting left-handed exclusively because my left eye is better than my right eye, not because I'm left-handed.
I have debated shooting left-handed just because I'm left-eye dominant.
Like pistol-wise, it doesn't fucking matter. Long gun, it sucks.
You could get glasses.
I have glasses, Pest.
Not you, jackass. Why would I tell people that who already have glasses that they can get glasses?
Well, because you dispense all sorts of advice, whether we like it or not.
But I'm not wrong usually, right? So,
speaking of glasses, who's on fun plane trips lately?
Plane trips?
Yeah, plane trips.
Not me. There's no such thing as a fun plane trip.
I
I don't
flew
know.
2 weeks
There's crying
ago.
babies around there. It makes it pretty fun, I think.
That's why you get priority boarding.
Oh yeah, that's the no pizza, no Philly taco trip.
That's why you put your fucking earphones in with your goddamn music blasting your brains out, so you don't have to listen to kids.
Alternatively, hit the bar before you get on the plane and just don't even understand what's happening.
Just
I refuse to fly drunk. I'm not doing it anymore.
You need to add some Rage Against the Machine to your playlist.
I was going to suggest Slayer.
I've just been banned from Weekend Gunnit.
Wait, it's private though, right?
Yeah, they banned all the Gun Deals mods.
But if it's private, I mean that you. Okay.
But Bart,
Yeah.
how did you ban yourself?
Yeah, I don't know.
But if it's private and you were already on there, you can still get to it, right?
No.
Once
they said private and you were on there, you have to be an approved submitter to even look at the sub.
Yeah.
So basically, they shut it down except for the people they can individually approve.
So even if you're not a no poop, you can't go on there.
No. But see, the thing is, I had poops. I was one of the first guys that went over to Weekend Gunnit back before, that was years ago, long before I was ever had aspirations of being a mod. So it's really dumb because, I liked one of the mods.
Yeah.
One of the mods is okay. The rest of them are kind of, I don't know, or there seem to be huge racists. But I don't know. I used to post there because the stupid shit on Gunnit, we'd post over there all the time. Or you'd see something neat on the internet, you post it there. Now it's all it was just slotting floppies and doing whatever. So, but it is kind of funny they banned me.
By kind of funny, you mean hysterical. Then.
Well, see, on the flip side, we've kind of realized that with the subs that we all control, we can effectively ban someone from all the gun subreddits on Reddit except for firearms.
That's not a bad thing.
The cartel.
Yeah. Because I think we're up to like 70 different subs.
Nice.
Something like that. Yeah. Most of them are dead and not used at all, but
Can't remember which ones I mod. Long range.
yeah, there's a few of the. Well, or not NFA, but NFA's really went to shit lately too. So
yeah, I'm a moderator of HMG. Blackout and long range are my only two big ones.
Yeah, the HMG, they used to have that sub, and then they just never posted, so we just took it over.
I'd like you to remove as much of the receiver as you possibly can. What the fuck does that mean?
On the Lottie?
No, the Solitharn.
Oh.
Like with a torch or
remove as much as the receiver. Oh, so you can put the receiver.
He doesn't want to store most of it.
He wants to store the receiver in his safe, and that's it.
Let's store the serialized portion, and that's it.
Yeah. It doesn't work like that.
No. You're gonna have something sitting on your floor of your shop for a while.
Your SOT's about to brain himself with a part of your gun.
I do that when people buy SBRs and stuff. I'm just like, take everything but the regulated portion because I don't want it.
Your transfer fee is about to go up.
Off with 2 pins.
Yeah. Not when you deconstruct a gun designed to hold a small, stick of dynamite in it.
Let's see. I gotta Google detail strip solo thorn.
It's a 6-hour video.
Ian probably has something.
Yeah.
He doesn't get into that level of detail.
No.
Oh, top strip clubs in Alton Solotherm. Best erotic and
I was gonna say you're getting porn.
Just a bunch of Swiss fucking strip clubs or whatever. Top 10 adult entertainment in Alton Solotherm. Yelp. Let's see what Yelp says.
So link.
You can Google. Jesus. Angel Dreams Escort. Club Diamant. Secret Company. Red Rouge. Wow.
Wow.
Cine 6. Kino Roland. Le Marquis. Hmm.
Not a lot of creativity with strip joint names.
Not a lot of creativity with their dancer names either.
What's the model number of the Solotherm?
SS18- or /1000.
1337.
Yeah, that's right. Block full detail strip. Yeah, nobody's got detail strip videos of Solotherm.
There's no field strip videos, let alone detail strip videos.
You know what you
Take
must
the bubble
do.
out,
Mhm.
but that's not going to give them any more room. Yeah, I don't know. I'll take the bipod off. I'm not sure I'm willing to do much more than that, to be honest.
Just have him set up some safe storage at your house.
Why don't you cut them a deal? Say, set up the whole thing as it is on your store floor in your showroom. Don't even take it apart. And every time someone wants to take a picture with it, you charge them $5, and we split it.
Yeah, when somebody
And
runs
then in 8 months, when your Form 4 comes back, you'll have a pile of money waiting for you.
yeah, if he doesn't put it in a safe, somebody's gonna run a minivan through the window and take it home.
And how are they going to carry it?
What? 2 people.
The fucking minivan.
Well, then you got to keep it loaded. You got to keep it loaded so you can fight the minivan off when it comes through the door.
And the building behind them.
That would be hilarious security footage. Holy shit. Fucking your SOT sees them revving the minivan in his parking lot.
So I think I might be buying an airplane hangar, so at least I have a place to put stuff.
We'll have your SOT guy apply for off-site secure storage there. With
You're
ATM.
buying it or renting it?
No, we're going to buy it.
Is it on the airport?
Yeah.
What good would a hangar that's not on the airport be?
Well, maybe you have your own. Maybe you have your own little private airstrip.
Good save, Bard. Good save.
Told you what I need that for. I got to eventually, get some artillery.
You could be one of those guys that mounts their machine guns to things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, put my machine gun on my tank.
Exactly.
What we really need to do is get like an 89 Plymouth Voyager and mount the Lottie to the back.
I gotta Google 89 Plymouth Voyager.
How about an El Camino?
Ooh, even better. Because if you get an El Camino, you've technically got a technical.
Perfect.
There it is.
I made a subtle technical joke and you guys didn't acknowledge it recently.
Oh, what was it?
Sorry.
No,
Explain the joke. That always works.
I can't remember now. I can search. Hang on. Where the hell are the results?
Make sure to throw a link when you find it.
Yeah, I had a conversation with
I'll
my
be
wife,
able
and I was like, "Look, we can both say that that's not true, but that's where this is headed, right? Is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger."
Oh, I made it on Facebook. That's what. Yeah.
We got to roll the 152 out one day, Pest.
We do not have stupid body armor law. Somebody actually asked in Discord.
Why don't I know what a 152 is?
The Russian gun.
Oh yeah, no, that's crazy. I don't like things that are bigger than me. What are you doing, Otto?
Well, I can tell you what. If we did, we would shoot it more than 4 times.
I need to get some super slippery thing and make a super slippery bullet and make a subsonic round so that ricochets every shot. Like a 300 blackout with AMAX, 208 AMAXs. God, that ricochets like crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The subsonic stuff.
Yeah.
It just tumbles right away or something. It just takes a turn.
I don't know what it is.
Bigger bullet holes.
They They don't like the ground just as much as they don't like the air. So I don't know.
I heard an argument for tumbling bullets. They make bigger holes sometimes.
Well, you guys got that hard dirt out there too. I mean,
Yeah.
Is there anything left to talk about?
Nah.
89
Orange
Man
Voyager.
bad, Kavanaugh good. No wait, Kavanaugh bad. I don't know.
Hey, look, it's just like the hearings. Hey, Kevin, I'm bad.
Yeah.
And we're 3/5 of the week through the week of investigation, and then the FBI is not allowed to talk to the guy.
Yeah.
That's the best. That's
Well,
the
they did
best.
such a crack up job on that Vegas thing. I'm sure they'll knock this thing out of the park.
Look, there were 2 guys. Okay, definitely 2 guys.
Yeah.
Fucking year later, no information basically.
Doesn't fit the narrative.
Well, it was mostly Republicans who got shot, so
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's right, because it was a country music concert.
Yeah.
God help it if it had been an Ariana Grande concert.
Exactly.
Something. They go the Chillins, the liberal Chillins.
Where'd Bartman go?
I heard sounds.
Missed
Then
So
it.
FC, tell me again why I shouldn't move all my scary guns into my trust.
I didn't say that there's a problem with that. It's just, are they not in your trust already?
No,
Hmm.
just my NFA stuff.
I mean, I can't see any reason why you couldn't, but at the same time, I mean, I'm not seeing a lot of tangible benefit either.
Well, if for some way my state passed a law,
Oh yeah.
couldn't transfer a semi-auto gun to any.
Yeah, but you're in Pennsylvania. It's Texas with snow.
Yeah, right now it is. But what about 20 years from now?
And proper baloney.
In 20 years,
Well, then you won't
in
have
20
to-
years, you would have inevitably taken over Pennsylvania.
Ooh, that's a good point.
I mean, if your previous statement of it's only gonna get bigger,
Yes.
I mean,
don't
at
see
some point, you're gonna have the biggest one, and then you have to have all the biggest ones of the same size, and then you have your own.
Nah, I don't have any illusions that I'll ever have.
There's literally no disadvantage to moving anything into a revocable trust, right? I mean,
That's what I'm thinking.
you can pretty much do whatever you want with one of those.
Well, I mean, I can put them in. It's just, I mean, it does shield them from probate if I die, right?
Yeah.
So that's good. My kids are the
What,
inheritors.
2 self-inflicted bullets to the back of the head? I mean, something like that. Shot himself in the head twice, backwards.
Oh, the woman shooter.
What, the YouTube one?
No, the sorry, you said it's 2 self-inflicted. Where the hell was it? In Detroit? I don't know. Anyway. Ah, shit. What company? The pharmacy supply depot.
CVS.
That was in Maryland.
Oh, same. Close enough. Anyway. Everything's super close together over there.
Maryland and Detroit are nowhere near each other.
Pretty sure they're only 1 Utah away. Because the states are way smaller. Anyway, point though, that bitch took herself out because she was super determined. She shot herself twice last time I heard.
Like once in the chest and one more time in the head before she.
I don't know. Apparently, I just remember it being remarkable. We haven't talked about it here, but I guess we can move on.
Well, move on to what?
Yeah, I was just trying to. Anyway.
What's the latest and greatest in /r/guns, huh?
The Glock 45.
Some kid came up with a long Lee today. That was pretty
Yeah.
Ooh, like the
1900 Lee Enfield.
also the
Mark I.
predecessor of the short Lee.
Yeah.
Ooh, those are rare.
He was considering selling it.
It was
Ooh.
Rite Aid, not CVS. Rite Aid.
Rite Aid, yeah.
We have a couple of those in Canada. Sometimes I think about buying a number 4 Mark 1 Long Branch because Canada, and then I
Yeah.
remember 303 is scarcer than a unused vagina the day the sailors come home.
In Canada?
On Fleet Week.
Yeah.
Don't you have pervy parters on there?
Yeah, it's still $20 for a box of 20. So you're paying $1 a shot because the
Do you have
surplus
a
is long
Ross
gone.
rifle?
Hmm?
You have a Ross rifle?
You can find sporterized ones for $200, or you can find unsporterized ones for $3,000. That's it.
You don't have one?
No. Again, I've considered it, but I mean, it's a 303. And
Why did I think you ran south of the border? Was that not true? I thought you came down to Freedom Land. Is that somebody else? I think that's
I wish. I mean, actually, not really, because
Maple Syrup Jedi is an expat.
Is he the
yes,
one that
Maple
did it?
Syrup
Yeah,
Jedi is an expat,
that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
and sometimes we have fun little back and forths, and people go, "No, look at the Canadians. They're so quaint."
They're both insulting each other and saying sorry afterwards.
Yeah. And a lot.
But limit yourself to mad 30 seconds instead of mad minutes, and you'll be fine. On the
See,
$20
that's one
box.
thing. I've been a range chicken lately, and I have something like 500 pieces of 308 brass, even though I only shoot a precision rifle with that, which means that I shoot 20 rounds every session.
Yeah.
And I tried. That was actually a fun story. I tried to buy a Colombian Mauser in 30-06, only to find out that only to find out that the headspace was fucked because a lot of those were rebarreled from the original 7mm. And the Colombians being Colombian third world country arsenals, headspace is not a thing. And the headspace was fucked on it, so I got my money back on that.
How fucked? Long or short? Or
long?
Oh. How bad? Like field gauge closes bad, or like
well,
logo closes bad?
With reduced power loads, primers were popping out of the base.
Oh Jesus! No, that's no bueno.
Yeah. So if I had a whole ladder test because I wanted to find out if I was going off of M1 Garand ammunition specs, which is basically M2 ball, which is what they would have been using in those 30-06 guns. And I started as a good diligent little reloader, 10% below book value or book data. And even at the 10% reduced, like the first couple of shots were fine and the brass looked fine, and then I started seeing the primer slowly start to walk out. And by the time that I was getting at low book data, the gun was real snappy when it shot, and extraction wasn't hard, opening the bolt wasn't hard, but the primers were like 2 or 3 millimeters sticking out of the bottom.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You sure you're not like being super aggressive on the neck sizing there, sir? Or?
Buddy, it is RCBS full length neck sizing, full length dies. So,
but if you tighten them down too far and you're really exuberant, you can set headspace back yourself with your dies.
I would be very surprised if these dies were.
If you've been hand loading for a long time, then that's fine. Probably.
Well, no, I mean, you don't just like stick it in there and go, yeah, the brass is good to go. I fucking measured it. I got my calipers and I go, is this right? Is this right? Is this right? Is that angle? Well, I can eyeball the angle as much as you can because I don't have the tools to actually measure neck angle.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those are great guns. I got one too. I sporterized it as a young man, sadly, but it's pretty fucking cool. They're short, and mine weighs 7 pounds, something like that. It's pretty fucking stout.
And as it was the norm back then, metal butt plates, because what else?
I put a squishy one on mine.
Yeah, me too. Because my soft, supple skin needs to be not tenderized.
I want to remain a beautiful snowflake.
Exactly.
No,
and
should try and get a good one. And I mean, theoretically, you could have had somebody set the barrel down for you or whatever. But
Yeah, but I paid out the ass for this gun because it was in pretty good condition, and then for only to find out that I would have to pay basically half or the same cost of the gun to get it to be workable and hero itself in front of my face. Then I'm not gonna be bothering with it. So I just got my money back, and I'll just keep looking for the ones that were manufactured in 30-06, hoping that the headspace is finding those, because anything that was refurbished at a Colombian arsenal is basically a write-off in my eyes from now on.
Hope is a shitty strategy, by the way.
Well, I'll just bring your field gauge to the gun show with you. And maybe you're
Yeah, but then I'd have to fucking order in some fucking 30-06 field gauges off of fucking Brownells and end up paying like $30 in duties because I did that for my 308 when my 308 and heroed itself with fucking wolf ammo.
So you're saying if a feller got a CNC lathe together and started making headspace gauges in Canada, he could probably get rich doing that.
He would sell dozens, literally dozens,
dozens and dozens of them.
He could make material costs back easy.
Get Tormach on the phone.
Yeah. Bart, you want to call it?
Yeah, we could probably do that.
So early.
10:32, maybe
8:32.
About to make it an hour and 45 minutes soon, so.
Well, whatever.
We can make it the 2, maybe. We'll see. I just had to run upstairs and put my kids to bed. I told them they had to be at bed at 10 and send them messages, and I figured they're still fucking around. So
it's okay. We told them you were pooping. The audience.
That would take it way longer. To get in my phone and get lost in some stupid thread.
Madsen M47 for Columbia hipster points.
That sounds pretty hipster.
Oh, what the fuck? I have to Google it now. Here, FC's also Googling it.
No, I'm not Googling shit. I'm shit posting.
Okay.
Good boy.
Yep.
Wikipedia doesn't have a picture. Lame.
So some guy is convinced that $100 a piece for a pre-ban Glock mag is overpriced. I'm like, no, it sounds like it's perfectly priced.
Yeah, if you live in a shit place, for sure.
All right, you guys got that.
Oh, the bolt action. Oh, yeah. Madsen made a bolt action. I've seen this on a video one time.
The 30-06?
Yeah, I think maybe Ian did a video on these.
On what? The 30-06 Mausers?
No, the Madsen M47.
I have a 30-06 Mauser as well.
It's like the last bolt action rifle ever adopted by a country or something like, like for general service.
Yep. You know what? I think I did see that video too. Yeah. It's one of those really old, like back when he still had the funky little intro music,
the super loud machine gun, and then the quiet ass video that was hand filmed without a tripod. Yeah,
and doon 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 doo doo doo. Yeah, I miss those old ones. They were really quaint before you found out all the fun stuff about Ian too.
I've been watching a lot of YouTube and Twitch guys and stuff, and I ran into this fucking kid named Tanner Fox, and I'm like, oh my god, why is this pimple-faced kid whose voice hasn't even changed a rich fucking YouTuber who's fucking getting a new car and having his boys jump out and show off his new fucking merch before the video starts and shit. And I look back and 7 years ago, he's posting fucking flip kick shit or whatever on his fucking scooter at a skate park, and like he just kept posting videos for like, anyway, it's interesting that like the chief measurement for success in anybody I've looked at on these streaming services is that you just stick to it for fucking ever and eventually you get fucking rich doing it. It's crazy. Ian, for example, makes a fuck ton of money, I think, on Patreon, and it's great because he deserves it. But anytime you look at somebody and scratch your head and go, why the fuck is this idiot famous? It's probably because he's very fucking persistent.
And Nian is nothing but persistent, I know.
Oh yeah.
He the way he does his whole thing is pretty structured and really well planned out. how he goes and films a batch of videos and just releases it trickle one at a time ish.
Yeah, in no way did I intend to conflate Ian and Tanner Fox together and make them the same, because they're not the same. But
They are though.
But
They
yeah,
are.
but the guys. Well, no, because he actually has subject that's worth fucking paying attention.
Look,
to.
Logan Paul is popular for
Yeah,
whatever reason he is.
Well, he's the other Paul kid's brother or whatever.
But they were both. They're both disposable.
Yeah. Totally.
God damn it! Fucking
like kids that 12-year-olds or people that 12-year-olds are watching her. Yeah, it's terrible. Disney is Nickelodeon and Disney. That's what YouTube is now.
Don't forget Discovery Channel.
Oh God. Yeah.
Don't you want to see miners hunting for crabs with mud?
Wait, what? No, so I don't watch this shit, so I don't know. But
it's a play on all the idiotic popular shows in Discovery Channel, like the fishing one, the mud people one, the
I don't know about the mud people, but
swamp people.
Oh, those guys. Yeah.
Shoot them
Just
now.
a little
Shoot 'em
bit.
now.
I did. See that.
I have 2 boxes.
I am a sucker. I am a sucker for the gold mining shows. But
yeah. See, so it's
Oh my God,
gold miners hunting for crab with mud.
Train wreck, isn't he?
What's that?
That Todd is a train wreck.
Oh, yeah. Like,
And his
hey,
dad is like
we're doing
3
great.
times worse.
We're doing great. Let's chuck it all in the fucking toilet and head to Colorado for the. Like, Jesus will save us. Oh Jesus, we didn't find nothing this week.
His fucking dad, just bulldozes through anything with anything.
Oh, yeah. That's my drama queen show.
Seriously, Bart, do we have to make it to 2?
No, we don't.
We are contractual. They paid for 2 hours. We're going to give them 2 hours.
I mean, we have 13 people watching. We don't want to let down the.
I know.
Why? I mean, I ask myself the same thing with my show. I go, who is watching this? And people do.
Yeah.
It's like the comedian in Philadelphia that just got up and heckled the entire audience for like
Technically, that was not Philly. That was Camden, New Jersey, and that was Bill Burr.
Bill Burr. Yeah.
Oh, Bill Burr is a goddamn patriot and a saint. Dude, have you seen him? Have you seen him when random little stations invite him in, like just Midwest small town places bring him in because he's doing a show in town and he just does not go with the script or the tone or anything at all.
It's kind of my thing.
Yeah. I think the one that stands out in my mind is, I think right before the Super Bowl, he comes in and he goes, "Oh yeah, I made it in with in the early flight, the one before the hookers came in for the Super Bowl parties." And you could just see like the presenter's face, like this lady's just like her gears are not turning anymore. Like it was beautiful. And he had a film career beforehand. He's in one of those. I think he's in a couple of.
He was in Breaking Bad.
Yeah. Yeah, he was, and he had a couple of small roles in films, and then he just did his own thing in stand-up.
I don't remember.
What?
He was QB.
The
car wash environmental specialist.
Oh.
Yeah, like a one episode 15-minute role.
No, he
was with Huel when they laid down on the pallet of money too.
That's right.
Yep. Yeah,
because Better Call Saul is like it's absolutely over the top. My favorite show.
I haven't watched any of those.
I haven't watched any of this season yet, so no spoilers. But
you know what? I think I'm gonna watch Better Call Saul.
There's stuff that happens.
It's a good show.
Okay.
Unlike ours.
Yes, very much unlike ours.
I kind of want a Madsen M47 now.
They're really nice. They're really nice.
It's a split bridge, which is
It's got
terrible,
a recoil
but
pad. It's got a muzzle brake.
it reminds me actually of a Youngman, but bolt action.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's laid out exactly the same way.
You got to get that one with the. You got to get that one with the crest on the side.
Right.
I'd show you, but mine's like way at the fucking back. So.
What a dilemma.
Hashtag fluffy problems. Come on, do it, Fluffy. Hashtag fluffy problems.
Nobody hashtags.
Do it.
You gotta have a really good reason to go to the back of the safe because
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
Because it's not just that one fucking row either. Because you got that one gun with the giant scope on it that's in the.
Yeah, you gotta basically take a pyramid of out.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, I know a guy that's super into Swiss rifles, and he's looking to buy a couple of extra ones